Let's find out how easy it is to make almond milk while we talk about why the kitchen may not be the best place to focus when looking for time savings. Now, don't get me wrong, I am all about looking for ways to simplify and to save time. In fact, many of my videos focus on this. Yet, at the same time, I do believe there are some very good reasons to focus most of your time-saving efforts elsewhere in your home and in your life. It is my hope that after listening to this short video, you'll walk away with a bit of a different mindset about your meals and meal preparation. Practically everyone is in a hurry these days, rushing to and from work, shuffling kids to soccer and after-school activities, and hopefully making it to the gym or yoga class. It's exhausting. So, who has time to cook anymore? The amount of time spent in the kitchen for most people is likely dramatically less than that of our grandparents. Sure, there are a multitude of products that help with this, but I'm going to make a case that this is not necessarily a good thing. I grew up on a stool in a small but brightly lit kitchen in Divide, Colorado. The big windows over the sink had a beautiful view of the mountain range and Pikes Peak. My mother enjoyed teaching us to cook, and she can still make dinner rolls so soft and buttery that they will melt in your mouth. So I was a bit taken aback years ago when sitting in a conference room with a couple dozen people, celebrating a coworker's birthday, and talking about time in the kitchen. I was shocked to find that only one other person besides myself even had a bag of flour in their kitchen, and their idea of cooking was widely different than my own. Everyone laughed when one friend commented that she could burn hot dogs when boiling them, and another said cooking to her was dumping soup in a pan and popping it in the microwave. As the discussion ensued, I learned that cooking for many people consists of activities such as pouring cereal out of a bag into a bowl, reheating pizza, and every once in a while popping a few chicken breasts on a pan with some pre-cut vegetables from a bag and then roasting this in the oven. Meals often come from can or packaged to plate within a matter of minutes, then they're moving from kitchen to table or in front of the TV. Another time-saving strategy that I often hear about nowadays is cooking for the week, doing all the cooking for the week on Sunday. Myself, I'm not a huge fan of leftovers, so it makes me cringe a bit, not only because there's no longer truly fresh food after a couple days, but also because it seems the focus has changed from artfully creating a meal to be enjoyed to a task that must be batched, completed, and done as efficiently as possible. The thing is, food is medicine to our bodies. It should be something that is revered, respected, and enjoyed. And if treated as such, it can be a source of pleasure in our days. And I believe our body receives it differently when we acknowledge and respect it this way. I know I'm not alone in this, but let me know what you think. Drop me a heart in the comments if you agree with me here. And a quick reminder to subscribe as well if videos about living more intentionally are of interest to you. Beyond the fact that much of what comes out of a can or a package is processed, if not ultra-processed, which research is now showing that's not the best for our health, there's a lack of connection with what we're putting in our bodies and a diminishment of pleasure when the focus is on things like counting carbs or calories or saving time, or when you're not even truly paying attention to your meal while you're eating it. Pre-prepared meals take away the experience of food being transformed into a meal. No longer do you smell the apples as they caramelize in the pan and watch as they change shape, color, and structure. And there's less time for our salivary glands to become active as we smell the smells, listen to the sounds, and eagerly await with anticipation. With processed meals, we've gained convenience and time, but at what cost? Spending time with our food as we lovingly prepare it for ourselves or our loved ones infuses it with a loving energy. We feel differently about a happily home-cooked meal, and I believe that our body responds to it differently in turn. There's something that's also meaningful about walking through the farmer's market and seeing the same farmers each week, the people who grow what ends up on your table. And there's something fulfilling about using your creativity or following a recipe to transform what you've gathered at the market into a meal that you're proud of and that tastes delicious because it's fresh and wholesome. And beyond simple and fresh and healthy being better for your gut biome, it simply feels good and it adds a bit of happiness to your day if you let it. So, with all this in mind, I've decided to let myself spend time in the kitchen. Maybe it's wiser to simplify life in other ways, I've decided. And I've decided to let it be okay to allow myself to spend time creating and making messes in the kitchen and cleaning them up. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please do me a big favor and give it a thumbs up so it will get shared with others. And a heads up that you also might enjoy this video as well, making baked apple custard oatmeal with mindfulness. It's a perfect breakfast for fall as the apples start coming into season.